Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today we are looking at something that is now quite old and has become incredibly rare and hard to find. We are looking at the 2009 release by Hasbro from their Star Wars, the Clone Wars series of action figures, action vehicles and playsets. And this particular item we are looking at today is of the Turbo Tank Support Squad. Now, the Clone Wars was a animated movie that took place shortly after Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. And it was a completely animated movie as opposed to a full-life movie. And in the film, Count Dooku and Jabba the Hutt's uncle Zira orchestrate a plan to turn Jabba against the Galactic Republic by framing the Jedi for the kidnapping of his son. Now, Anakin Skywalker has a new apprentice, and his new apprentice is Ashoka Tano, and they attempt to deliver the child back to his father. And then you've got Obi-Wan Kenobi and Padme Amidala, who are trying to lead the separate investigations to uncover Count Dooku and Zira's plot. It was a fairly successful movie. It cost $8.5 million to produce, and it box office it sold 68.3 million. It collected at the box office. Okay, anyway, I've digressed again, but this particular set we're looking at is the Turbo Tank Support Squad, and this is the box in front of us, and it says firing missile launchers, Turbo Tank Support Squad, Star Wars, the Clone Wars, works with Clone Turbo Tank, sold separately. Package converts to a diorama, see bottom for the details. And you've got the warning the token has a small parts not suitable for children under 3 years old, ages 4 and up, and it's 92404 and assortment number 91349. And it's a Turbo Tank Support Squad, and you've got the Hasbro logo at the bottom there. And if I just turn the box around to the back, there we can see the action figures and the turbo missile firing launchers, and it says Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Turbo Tank Support Squad. Clone troopers man the Republic's enormous turbo tanks, blasting battle droids with grenade launchers and laser cannons. Bred and trained for combat, clone troopers use the armored assault vehicles to plow directly through obstacles and straight into the maelstrom of battle. And it says works with Clone Turbo Tank, attaches to Clone Turbo Tank, which is sold separately, as you can see on the bottom left hand corner. And there you can see an image of the two figures, and it says comes with 2 launches, and you've also got 2 of each of the weapons. And on the right hand side it says 212 Battalion with Count Dooku, that's another set. You've got the Grab Droid, again Crab Droid, which is another set, and the Speeder Bike with Count Dooku, which is another set. It says collect these awesome characters, each sold separately. And then at the bottom you've got all the copyright and licensing information and the logos and so forth. And it also says at the bottom, visit the starwars.hasbro.com. Okay, so that is the back of the card. So let's turn the card back round and have a good look at the figures themselves. Okay, so I zoomed right in on the 2 figures themselves there, and you can see they are the standard size 3 3/4 inch or 10 centimeters or 8 centimeters, whatever they are, 9 centimeter tall action figures. And these are obviously of the clone troopers, and they're in their full clone trooper uniform with their helmets and their body armor, which goes all the way down to the feet. Articulation wise, they're just like the standard 3 3/4 figures of the time, but they've got pretty good articulation. So you've got the head, you've got the arms at the shoulders, you've got the top turning arm as well, and you've got the elbow. and I believe the hands also turn on these particular figures. So you've got 4 points on each hand, and you've got the waist, you've got the tops of the legs, and the knee joints as well, and the feet. Oh no, actually I'm not 100% sure on the feet. Let's just have a zoom in on the feet there and see if, I believe the feet are articulated on these. I'm pretty certain they are. Now I've said that, I'm pretty certain they are articulate. So pretty good articulation on all of these figures. But then we were talking 2009, so we were only talking 15 years ago when these were produced, and technology was obviously a lot better back in 2009 than it was prior to 2000, the millennium basically. So each of these figures come both with their missile firing launchers. As you can see, they've got one each, both of them holding one, and you've got the missiles which are just at the side of the box here. You can see them on the box there. There's the missiles, and they're sprung loaded. You press them in, and you've got a button on each of the top of the launchers, and they click in. They're sprung in just like the old dart guns used to. Press them in, they lock into position, and you press the button and they fire out the missiles. And of course, as you can see, you've got the weapons each there that the figures carry. So they've got their blaster rifles, and they've got their blasters that each of them can hold and carry with them. And if you can just see the back of the card, I'm going to try and bring it forward so you can get a better view of it. That is a backdrop. Now, I'm not quite sure what planet that's supposed to be in, but it's obviously somewhere from the Clone Wars. But I can't quite make it out properly. But it is a very, very nice backdrop. So it would look great if you was to have these figures on display. You take them out of the box and just put the backdrop on behind them and have them however you like them. If you've got the clone turbo tank, then you can pop these missile firing launchers. They actually connect to the tank, and you can display them on the tank if you so wished. That's another thing that you could do with these. Okay, how well did these do? Well, the Clone Wars merchandise didn't sell as well as the movie merchandise, obviously. The Clone Wars was animated, it wasn't real life action or real live action, so didn't do as well as the live action movies. And consequently, the merchandise obviously didn't sell as well as the movies. However, that was then, this is now. And this merchandise now is worth so much money. It's far more valuable than the live action movie merchandise now. Maybe that's because they're in much smaller quantities. I don't know. Maybe it's because they didn't produce such a wide range. Again, I don't know. I'm surmising. But what I can safely tell you now is these particular, well, most of the items from the Clone Wars very rarely come up for sale. You do get the individual figures. They obviously come up because, again, they were produced in abundance. Or again, not to the quantities of the movie figures, though. But you do see the clone figures come up for sale fairly often on the platforms. However, you don't see the box sets come up very often. When they do, they're usually at extortionary prices, or they're sold very quickly, especially if they're like this in mint unopened packaging. So no, they don't come up very often. Yes, they are expensive, and well, having said that, you do see them more often out of the packaging. So you might find there's one figure up for grabs with his firing missile launcher. Or you might find that they're up for grabs without the missile launchers. So they do come up in various different conditions, but finding them like this in this condition is very, very hard to find. And if you are insisting on buying from a platform, just be a bit careful because what you sometimes see on the platforms are stock images and not images of the item that you're buying. So if you're buying used, make sure you click on the used button and have a look at the item you're actually buying and not the stock images that are shown on the page, because you will be disappointed if that's the case. You'll be expecting a new item, you'll end up with a used item. So just be very careful if you choose to buy on the platforms. Now, selling on platforms is becoming a lot more difficult than it used to be, because there's all these restrictions now on what you can say and what you can't say. A lot of the images now you have to block off the wording, so you can't show that it's a Hasbro item, you can't show the word Star Wars anymore. So there's a lot of restrictions going on to the platforms, so sometimes it's going to be very difficult to find the actual item that you're looking for anyway. However, we don't have those restrictions on our website, and on our website we can show and tell you anything you like about the particular product that you're looking at. And this particular item, as we've explained here, is available on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Star Wars items and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. Come to that, there's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive that this is something you won't want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you're looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful little action figure set with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.